Hi friends, Rotary District 3141 is one of the premier Rotary districts around the world, doing amazing work for the community. Rotary Year 2021 is a vision year with District Governor Sunil Mehra at the helm of affairs, wherein many new initiatives have been introduced to create a difference and make Rotary seen. There's a Givers Gain project to generate funds out of waste, which will be used to fund Rotary Foundation for various humanitarian projects. Under the Over is another initiative to beautify Mumbai and create utility spaces below every flyover. Lots of efforts are also going on towards literacy, malnutrition, health, sanitation, and other verticals. WizBiz Talks is one more initiative, a novel concept in vision here, with an ideology to support Rotarians to support Rotary. WizBiz Talks is also to create more bonding and friendship amongst Rotarians on personal, Rotary, and professional fronts. In these interviews, we speak to visionary Rotarians who, by virtue of their selfless work towards the community, have reached important decisive positions, and their actions today will help Rotary to serve more and make a difference. Friends, I'm Dr. Manish Motwani, a bariatric surgeon, that's a weight loss surgeon, and also the Chief Coordinator for Rotary District 3141 in the year 2021. And I'll be your host on the WizBiz Talks. Friends, a very special guest on the WizBiz Talks today. A person who is called the encyclopedia of Rotary. Any and every governor's automatic choice when there are clarifications required regarding MOP or bylaws. A Rotarian from the most illustrious Rotary Club of Mulund. Yes, friends, he is none other than Rotarian past District Governor Jayant Kulkarni. He did his BDS in 1973, a MDS in 1976. He's a dental specialist in conservative dentistry, practicing in Mulund since 1976. Formerly professor and head of Department of Conservative Dentistry and Endodontics at Bharati Vidyapeeth Dental College at Navi Mumbai. Past Vice President of Indian Dental Association Mumbai and Maharashtra State branches. President of JC's Club in 1984. So friends, though he is a Rotarian since long, he always wanted to be associated with many social organizations and keep doing his bit for others. He's also been the past secretary and trustee of Mumbai Gymkhana. He joined Rotary Club of Mulund in the year 1987 and became president in 1993-94. Friends, you would be knowing about Rotary Club of Mulund. It is one of the most illustrious clubs in District 3141. I don't know of any other club in Mumbai which has given a Rotary International Director, Rotary Foundation Trustee, and 3 district governors. So friends, yes, Rotary Club of Mulund and PDG Jayant, they have their credibility as to it is a club of substance. And friends, they also have been involved in making many clubs. He, during his governorship, he sponsored Rotary Club of Palghar. He's the founder president, Rotary Foundation Alumni Association of District 3141. He was the district governor in 2010-11, district trainer in 2013-14 and 18-19. Friends, why he became the district trainer twice, which is also a rare feat, you will come to know in time to come. He was also the District International Service Committee Chair in 2019-22. District Coordinator for National Program for Measles and Rubella Vaccination 2018-20. He's got many publications through Dental Association and Rotary. Served as Rotary Volunteer in Jamaica in April 1999. Friends, he also leads with an example, and he has a 4-star PHF contributor. So he is a Paul Harris Fellow Level 4 and also the benefactor of Rotary Foundation. Friends, he is one person who has utilized and used the Rotary Foundation so well. So he has experienced the benefits of Rotary Foundation. He has been a Rotary Friendship Exchange program thrice, friends, 2002, 2004, 2016. So he wants to give a lot of time to Rotary, but not compromising on his professional work and doing excellent time management, which has been a key to his success always. Friends, appointed member of Rotary International's Youth Exchange Resource Group 2001-2. He's attended 3 Rotary conventions, Rotary International conventions in Barcelona, in Bangkok, in Toronto. He's been the member of editorial board Rotary News from 2008 to 2011. He's also served as RI President's representative to District Conference of Rotary International District 329 to Nepal. In 2012, he also went to District 3261. Friends, he's been a ARRFC, that is an Assistant Regional Rotary Foundation Coordinator for 3 years from 2014 to 17. He's received the highest Rotary Service Award of Service of Ourself in 2004-5. He's received the TRF Distinguished Service Award from 2017-18. Friends, it's not just Jayanji who has been involved as a one person totally immersed in Rotary all the time. His daughter Aditi was a Rotary Youth Exchange student in 2001-2. Younger daughter Anushri is a dentist. Friends, he's a go-getter who has always come up with innovative ideas with regards to training, having started the most innovative training module of DOR, that is District at Your Doorstep. Am I right, sir?
Yes.
And because of his most innovative methods of training, he was invited not once but twice to be a district trainer. And this feat, I don't recollect anyone else, any of the past governors who has been able to reach that feat of being a district trainer twice.
Bharat has been a district trainer for 2 consecutive years.
2 consecutive years. Great, sir. Friends, the amount of trust any governor would entrust on Dr. Jayant will be known by the fact that he has been handed over so many responsibilities in the vision year. Rotary in India Humanity Mission, Zonal Coordinator for Literacy, Advisor Thrust Area, Avenue, that is Oral Health and Hygiene, Advisor Thrust Area Women's Health, Advisor Thalassemia Blood Donation and Dialysis. He is also the advisor to alternate and generic medicine in Vision Year 2021. Friends, this is how DG Sunil Mehra also trusts him, respects him, because he knows that Jayanji is a man of word, Jayanji is a man of ethics. Friends, I have a pleasure to present before you a man of few words, man of wisdom, who knows the ins and out of Rotary at the back of his hand, a person who worships Rotary and considers the MOP as a sacred book. Yes, friends, he is none other than our dear friend, past District Governor, Dr. Jayant Kulkarni.
Thank you, Manish. You've been very generous. You've been very generous in your introduction, I must say, in your words.
Sir, as much as I know you, and I've been knowing you since the time my dad and you were in Rotary together, since that time, I have always looked upon to you as a person who can be really idolized. Yes, this is the type of Rotarian I would like to be.
Your dad has been a pillar of strength for that club, Rotary Club of
Sir, thank you so much. I would definitely pass on those words to him. But truly speaking, people like you, people like Ashok ji, I have had the fortune of and the privilege to seeing you, Madhu ji, Ashok ji, perform duties to such a level that it was in us that yes, we have to work for Rotary and we have to work at a good level for Rotary. So thank you so much for all you have directly or indirectly given us, and we have really benefited from that. So you have been known to the district so well, you've been working so hard in the district, and you have been making your presence felt through the type of work that you're doing. I also keep remembering you because of the Rotary Friendship Exchange that you've been going. Very few Rotarians are so keen on doing this, and it's one of the greatest of programs of Rotary to increase bonding and proximity amongst Rotarians in different continents. It also goes through the idea of promoting peace and goodwill across. So I'm so happy that you have been one of the leaders who has taken this by example and gone yourself. See, you're a busy practitioner, and हम doctors का तो सर एक काम ये तो कहते ही हैं कि जिस दिन हमने काम किया उस दिन हमने earn किया. We don't have a factory running over here. So leaving your personal practice aside, doing so much for Rotary, doing so much to promote goodwill and peace, it is not something that can be just ignored. So I have been noticing specifically that in you since a long time. Sir, but I know so much about you. There's so many Rotarians, but we want to know something about you on your personal front, sir. About you as a person, your family, and later on I will ask you something about your work too. But right now, about these two things, sir.
Well, you want me to just start with from where I started, or just?
Yeah, we want to know your entire journey, sir.
Actually, I come from a very middle class family. My father was a doctor. He was a specialist in chest diseases. He was employed with the government in Maharashtra. So he had a transferable job. So actually, I didn't start off in Mumbai. Though I was born in Pune, I never lived there on a regular basis. Only in vacations we used to go to my grandparents. My earlier years I spent in Marathwada. I mean, my father was in places perhaps you wouldn't have heard of, like Manvat and Nilanga and Shillod, and people wouldn't have heard of them. He was also in Latur, and from Latur we came to Mumbai in 1965. So I kept on shifting schools and all that, and all Marathi medium schools, and that's how from 1965 onwards we've been in Mumbai. So shifting things like that. So it all has its influence on you. That's how it has been. And then, of course, I joined dentistry in 1969. And I did my post-graduation with an idea of being better equipped to secure a job rather than practice. Because nobody in my family had ever practiced. My father was a doctor, my grandfather was a doctor, but they were all in government service. So, but it so happened that in fact, my father, in those when I was doing my part of my BDS and my MDS, he was the superintendent of this ESIS hospital in Mulund. So that's how we were in Mulund, and that's how I came to Mulund. And then I liked it and started a practice in a polyclinic. And then shifted over to my own place, and now that's where I am. And I also had a liking for teaching. A friend of mine said, "Yeah, why don't you join this college?" He was connected, and then I said, "I have been in practice. I haven't been in academics for a long time." It was, at 76 I started practice, and I joined teaching along with practice. Of course, the practice was all on in 92. So there was a long gap after I qualified before I joined the academics. And then I loved it and carried on for another 19 years. So that's how it was. And as far as the family is concerned, my wife comes from a similar family from Andheri. And she's a homemaker. And my daughters, it's like my elder daughter, she was the one who was the youth exchange student. When she returned from youth exchange, she simply came and told me, she was doing her BCom actually. She came and said, I want to study law. So nobody in the family had done law. So I asked her why. She said, no, I want to do it. So I wanted her to get some guidance. So I took her to two of my lawyer friends, obviously in Rotary. One was Rajesh Subramanian and the other was Shekhar Nakude from Versova. And they talked to her and all that. But she was so firm on it, irrespective of irrespective of the advice. Not that they discouraged, but she would have done. And she did well there. Now, she worked in a law firm for many years in intellectual property and then after marriage, she's gone to US, and there also she has done her LLM in intellectual property in Washington DC. So and my younger daughter is a dentist. She works with me and also with a pediatric dentist in Thana. So that's our family.
That's lovely. That's absolutely brilliant, sir. And normally it's seen that when children see their parents working, slogging out when they are as doctors, they always have this feeling in mind that kuch bhi karenge, doctor nahi banenge. As in your case, possibly the first one thought so, but the second one was, we are fortunate that she thought no, she should pursue dentistry because, sir, I feel that you have got loads and loads of experience and you have been a teacher. And every time we see one thing is very clear that what you learn in books and what you practice, there is some difference between the two. I think so those students whom you were training for almost 18 years or 17 years, while you were practicing and while you were teaching them at the medical college, there had been a lot of practical experience which also you would be telling them. So this would definitely make a lot of difference in the teaching, which is different from full-timer academicians because they only talk books and books. So I think so they would be benefited. But if I'm not mistaken, sir, you were also associated with Karad Medical College or somewhere. You used to go out of Bombay many times, once in 15 days or 7 days, if I'm not mistaken.
I joined the dental college in Pravaranagar, Lodi.
Yeah, Pravara.
And there was a time I was going there and enjoying teaching there. But somehow, because certain rules that were restrictive, I could not continue there. And then later on, I joined Bharati Vidyapit in Pune. And then from there, I shifted over to Bharati Vidyapit Dental College in Kharghar. And what you are saying is right. That there is a belief that this is a common thing. People think that what is given in textbooks and what you need to practice. So there's so much difference and all that. In fact, my colleagues in the college when I was doing MDS, they used to tell me, you should never the kind of nature you have, you should never go into practice. So, but I don't think it's so much. It's just a way how you adapt. Basics that you learn in theory and in the academics, they are all important. How you apply them to your practice is important. And there is always a thing, they are all based on somebody's experiences in the past, research that has gone in. So it can't be very different. Your practice can't be very different from that. It's just a matter of adapting and how you implement those principles.
Friends, this itself has been a lot of learning here, where we have heard something about Dr. Jayant Kulkarni. Friends, he is a very precise person. He is perfectionist in whatever he does. And any and everyone in the District 3141 or even the erstwhile District 3140 will watch by what I am saying, that he's a perfectionist. Friends, he's amongst the very rare few in the district who knows MOP page by page, word by word, sentence by sentence. I think so.
Yeah, I will interrupt on that. I don't think the MOP is something which you need to know page by page and all that. What you need to, about rotary information, my take is like this. You don't have to by heart or you don't have to know everything. What you need to know is what the position you hold demands. Whatever your position, in your duties in that position, whatever you must know adequate for that. And secondly, knowledge is to know where the knowledge to be found. You must have to know where to find that information. That is it. You don't have to hide. MOP and all these things are for reference. They're not to be hidden.
Friends, it is also very important that when you face a situation, so again, if you listen to Dr. Jayant Kulkarni very minutely, you would have understood that whatever position you occupy, you should know the details about what I'm supposed to do, what I'm not supposed to do. That means what so many other people wouldn't do, he used to refer to the MOP, which is a reference book, to know what he's supposed to do, what he's not supposed to do. And friends, why does he know the MOP so well? Because in his entire Rotary journey, he has done everything from a president to a district governor. So he has gone through all the stages and he has read about all those people, all those stages. So he's aware what he's supposed to do, what he's not supposed to do. And friends, there would be only, I can count, please, others should not mind, nothing personal, but I feel as much as my Rotary knowledge goes, there is Dr. Jayant Kulkarni, there is Dr. Madhukar Bide, and there is Virendra Vij. These are three people who would have done that during their entire Rotary career, because they have taken that sacred book seriously. They have understood that if we have to work for Rotary, we have to work in these guidelines so that we do ethical work, transparent work, and we can also promote Rotary the way it is supposed to be promoted. Thank you so much. These were very, very telling words, sir, because this is important that when you're occupying certain position, you should know ins and out about that. And you have got the MOP, which is like a Bible, which is like a Gyan book for us, which we have to read. Sir, I also interviewed Dr. Madhukar Bide, and he gave me one lovely example about how you serve Rotary through your vocation. I would like to also ask you, sir. We say in Rotary that you should use Rotary or use your vocation to serve Rotary. Sir, I also know that we always say that in our vocation we should go through the four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? We should use this in Rotary. We should use this in our vocation also. Sir, I want to know from you, what do you feel is the way in which we can serve Rotary through our vocation?
Basically, you are in Rotary because of your vocation. And what does Rotary say about it? You represent the community in your profession, in the club. So you are the contact for the club with the community in your field. So the needs of the community in your field should be known to the club through you. And whatever the club would like to do for the community, you must help with it. So, if you ask me specifically, before I joined Rotary Club of Mulund, I knew almost half of the members
Oh,
because I had done some dental camps for them. So, and of course, little digression. Before I started practice, when I was in college, I was a member of the Rotaract Club of Government Dental College. My contact with Rotary started with Rotaract. So, and when I started practice in Mulund, we did some dental checkups here. When I was when I was the vice president of Bombay branch of Indian Dental Association, we were doing some dental checkups all over Mumbai. And in that year, we did about 60,000 dental checkups in Mumbai.
that time, 60,000.
At that time. So some of them were in Mulund. So the Rotary Club helped. So that's how my contact through the profession with Rotary started like this. And after joining Rotary, again, we did all of it. And I got a unique opportunity of serving as a Rotarian volunteer dentist in Jamaica. So that was an international volunteering, which not many people get an opportunity. And Rotary gave me that opportunity. So the vocation and your Rotary, both must go together.
Sir, I knew that you have gone as a Rotary volunteer once, no, twice, I think. So you've been
Only once.
Only once as a Rotary volunteer, and I used to always get to hear at my place that you've joined Rotary. You should also follow these steps. You should go as a Rotary volunteer. क्या हो जाएगा? एक महीना जाएगा, 3 weeks जाएंगे. You should do it. Sir, but I'm telling you frankly, I don't know why, but I applied 3 times for Rotary volunteer. I have still not got a chance and opportunity, but I will keep applying because I do want to do this. I want to go as a Rotary volunteer. I want to go and serve people. Sir, here we always get an opportunity. Like, you know that at our place we do cataract surgeries at concessional rates. We do around 400 to 500 surgeries every year. That is going on. We know that is a project that goes on, but that is not my subject. There I am a facilitator through my hospital. I want to do something with my hands for someone who's not related to me, and I'm sure a Rotary volunteer this position of Rotary volunteer will give me an opportunity to do that, sir.
And doctors are at a very unique position. They have an advantage. Wherever they go, they have an opportunity. Somebody to help. I remember I was in this Dr. Prakash Amte's project in Chandrapur district. What is that? Where he had, in the rural areas, he had that project. And I see some of the Rotarians from Akola were going there. And Himal Kasa is the place. And I happened to go I wanted to see the project. So I went there. And they were staying there for 2 days. And they have a dental department. It so happened that the dentist was not coming over on those days. So I said, I'm available. Anything. So because their patients come from long distances. Somebody has a difficulty, he has to stay on till the doctor comes. So as doctors, we get an hour. And for you, the Rotary volunteer program through which I went has been discontinued by me. But your opportunities will be there through VTTs.
Yeah, surely, sir. So I have in fact been in touch with Indumati also, because she has been on VTT almost thrice, I think, so till now. I have spoken to her too. That we will definitely over a period of time, as time permits, because I am a bariatric surgeon, a weight loss surgeon. I don't think so that is a time for emergency, but I can definitely contribute through surgeries. We can go somewhere, we can donate laparoscopic equipment, we can go and give my time, I can train people.
And as like you said about losing out on a practice when you go out, when you are not there, it's bound to happen. But you can't have everything in life. You want a different experience, you must make time for it and give it whatever it requires.
Absolutely.
So I don't think I lost anything. What I actually, the experience I got in lieu of that practice was far greater than what I would have ever asked for.
Definitely, sir. Sir, in fact, I'll tell you that this is the 263rd interview that I'm taking. So I was asked by quite a few people from our district that why you want to waste so much time? Why are you doing this Visby talks? I said, see, by this time the district would have already completed possibly three major events where hundreds of people are coming together. One. Second, there would be more bonding amongst people. Now that is not happening. COVID has come as a rude shock to all of us. Third, sir, I am of the opinion, there might be people who might differ with me, but I am of the opinion that we should allow professional networkism in Rotary. As you heard about the interview when I said that Rotary, Visbish talks will help you create more bonding and friendship amongst Rotarians on personal Rotary and professional front. Sir, why not? If you see, you might even not want to do it. I asked you about your work. I asked you about details. Sir, why not? For example, in my hospital, if I have got 100 vendors, when I'm doing my professional work, it's a professional work. But when I'm running a hospital, where I have to have 100 vendors for 100 different things which I purchased from them. So 90 out of them today are Rotarians. I trust Rotarians so much. Why shouldn't, if I have got three people, why shouldn't I trust a Rotarian more? I do that, sir, in my personal practice. And I feel in those departments, I don't have to even look at those departments. I don't have to check the bills also because I trust those people so much in and out. Now, if this happens at one small place, a small 50-bedded hospital of mine, if I can do that, and I feel my stress is going down, the other person is also earning, and I am being able to do some sort of a work with some other Rotarians. We are finally, what is coming out of it is a closely knit Rotary family where you do projects together, you stay together happily, you have friendship and fellowship, and you also work together. This is the way I feel Rotary can really flourish. And Rotary International has also taken this very seriously. Rotary means business, RMB too.
It is, you are talking about the first one in the object of Rotary.
Yes.
Acquaintance is, in what is the purpose of acquaintance in Rotary?
Yes.
As it is an opportunity of service.
Opportunity.
So your acquaintances in Rotary must and always do open opportunities of service.
Absolutely.
That is what you are saying.
Yes. So, and sir, why not? Because I also look at it in a different manner that today I am in front of my patients a brand ambassador of Rotary. It should reflect in my work. It should reflect in my way of dealing with them. It should reflect in the type of care and service I give to them. So I am a brand ambassador of Rotary. If I don't behave well, I am arrogant, I am bad. Those people will think bad about me, and not just bad about me, about all the Rotary certificates, which is pura diwal bhar ke mere room mein pade, they will start thinking bad about that also. So I feel we can really serve Rotary a lot through our vocation, and we can help influence more members to become Rotarians. We can get more people to get associated with Rotary for service projects also. And you and I possibly have that privilege that we being doctors, we can try to do that because people come to us with already some trust. And if we trust something, they are automatically going to be bound to that trust ahead too. So luckily because of that, till date, I have been able to add around 33 members to Rotary, not only in Mumbai, not only in Maharashtra, but even in US and Hong Kong. So I've been fortunate enough because I feel we should be putting in our bit over there. So now, why did I take out the topic of membership? Because the next thing that I want your inputs on is membership. So some people feel that you should grow number of members in a club. Some feel you should grow the number of clubs. I'll give you my personal opinion. I feel, yes, those are important, but most important is that you should retain your members. I feel if your members are retained, you have those hundreds of brand ambassadors with you who will keep speaking good about Rotary and keep doing good work if they are retained. So if I have to give a rating, I give first to membership retention, second to adding members or adding new clubs. Though sir, in this year, Sunil had given me the responsibility of adding new clubs in areas where it is needed. So I have already, sir, sent the papers for charter of Rotary Club of Mumbai Greens, which will be at Runwal Greens. I'm making one club in South Mumbai, and I'll be also making one club in Bandu, which is already in process. So we've already finished 90% of the work. But yet, I feel it is more important that we should be retaining our old members. Sir, I want your views on membership.
There cannot be another opinion that way on whether the retention is important or not. It is, of course, important. In fact, one should never form a club, one should never induct a person into Rotary unless one is sure reasonably of retaining. So it's just not because, and there is always also a time. You read it out that I during my year of presidentship, Rotary Club of Mulund sponsored a club in Palghar. Now, people would have asked, why are you going that far? Why can't you form a club in Mulund? We could have formed. We could have formed a club. But then the idea was to form a club in an area where it doesn't exist. Like, prior to this, attempts were made to form a club in Parlar many years earlier. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. So, but we did that, and now Palghar club has stayed. Now it's more than 25 years old club now, and it's a very active club for all these years. So, what is important is whether to have more members in the same club or have a new club. Both are required actually, but one should never do that unless one is sure of being able to nurture them. Yeah, I remember there was a membership seminar in the last 2-3 years. I don't remember exactly when the assistant Rotary coordinator who was looking after the membership, of course, gave certain figures and said these are the large clubs in your club in your district, this and that. And he said this club, a new dynamic club, very with such large membership. And then he went on to say, but it has a maximum number of turnover, maximum amount of turnover, which means members being lost is also maximum in that club. So, which is something not a compliment. I wouldn't think it's a kind of that you have a large club, you have a large turnover also. Turnover is no, because every Rotarian who's lost gives you more negative PR than every member who is inducted gives you a positive one.
Absolutely.
So, what is more important is your ability to be to nurture the club. I see clubs closing down in 2 years and all that, which basically means that they were never ready for formation. So it's nurturing, the ability to nurture is the most important thing.
So friends, what we take the finer points out of what Dr. Jayant has just said is you have to make a member after going through all the 7 steps of membership induction. You have to ensure you admit a member, but then involve the member, because once the member is involved, he stays. And so membership retention is very, very important. Though it is important to add members to a club and add the number of clubs, but it is very important to retain those brand ambassadors of Rotary in your club who can work more and who can ensure that the name of Rotary is kept high always.
Let me tell you one more thing about the members who are lost.
Yeah.
Very recently our club has started a new initiative. Now, the technology is giving us new opportunities, and WhatsApp groups are formed everywhere. Now, my club has formed, someone had a brilliant idea that we formed a club of, a group of members who have left the club. So, and there's a group, and so in that, our members are also members in that group, and the members who we lost over the years, they are also there. So, in a way, we are connecting with them. And that is the important. Your contact with the members who are lost as members should continue. Your contact must continue. Maybe someday they would want to join again, but even if they don't, they are positive about Rotary. And whenever there is an opportunity, or whenever the club needs them, maybe they can come and help activities. If not as members, as supplement to the service activity.
So this is a lovely initiative. So, that time because of possibly their business concerns, they might have relocated and they have left. But if you keep in touch with them and you're maintaining friendship, they remain your good brand ambassadors.
One specific example I will give you. The Rotary Club of Palghar, in those days it was called GSR, the Governor's Special Representative. Was Sharat Chandra, who was a member of my club. He was not a past president, but he was a GSR. And he was the one who formed that club. And subsequently, he at that time he was living in Mulund, Now he doesn't. So when he shifted out and went to Bandra, he left the club, but he didn't join any other. For the Silver Jubilee celebration of the Rotary Club of Palghar, he was present. And not only was he present, but he looked at, he saw the project, and they were undertaking some new projects which they introduced to him, and he announced a donation for that. So he keeps on helping Rotary, even if he's not a member.
Absolutely. So these are the good examples. For example, I'm seeing at my house, my dad has made around been a party to almost 8 clubs, formation of 8 clubs, out of which 4 or 5 he was the GSR, and for 4 he has helped other GSRs forming the club. In fact, my own club, Mr. Shankaran Warrior, was the GSR, but it was my dad who really played a big role in formation of Mulund Hillview. So I have also been seeing Rotary Club of Mulund Hill, Thana Hirandani Estate, Raheja Gardens, whatever their function, even after so many years, they do keep calling the person who was involved, and this keeps you in touch with Rotary. So exactly to the thing that you were asked about Palghar, I was asked when I'm just going to be announcing the Rotary Club which I'm forming as a new club advisor, which is behind Arthur Road Jail. So they were asking that you're staying in this locality, why you want to go all the way up to Arthur Road Jail to make a club? So, sir, wherever we have got connect and wherever we have got people known to us, do you need those first 4 people with whom you can start sending the message and then start doing? So, luckily, we'll be forming a 35-member club there soon, which we will be mentoring also, and we'll be ensuring that the club reaches to good heights. So, my main responsibility over there would be to ensure that the first 3 years go on very well, and then the club takes on its own, because every year we have got assistant trainers, assistant governors, and DSs who take care of the clubs. So yes, membership was a very important question, and thank you, sir, for your inputs. But now comes the next important point: is what you are known for, sir. What has been your great initiative, Dord, district at your doorstep, and you've been trainer twice. Yes, Bharatji has been trainer, but and he's performed exceptionally well. He's a lovely speaker. The way he carries himself, the way he speaks, it's all like music ringing in your ears. But sir, you have led as a district trainer twice, and this initiative was never before attempted. Sir, we would like to know something more on this, and something more on how should the training go on in Rotary in time to come.
First thing, this was not the first time. It was not like it was never done before. In 89-90, Dr. R.M. Bhatt was the governor.
Okay.
And he first introduced this idea, where he said, there was no name given to it. He simply said that 3-4 clubs in the vicinity should come together, and at their regular meeting of one of those clubs, they can join together and have a little extended meeting, which would not where you do not have kind of dinner and all that. Focus on the Rotary subject and invite some speaker on that, and that is how you can disseminate Rotary information. That was the what he implemented in 89-90. Subsequently, the name Dord was given by Deepak Purohit of 3030, who was in 2000, who was governor there in 2009-10, 1 year before I was governor here. That name was given by him, and that's the one which I can. And the same, and since that was the first time when I was district trainer in 2013-14, when Lata Subbaraju was the governor, we implemented it, and people did like the idea. And the second time, Shashi Sharma was the governor in 18-19, and he said, "Let us do it again," and we did that again. Well, the whole idea is that in a large gathering, very large gatherings, like Intercity Fora, when there are more than say 200 people, the average Rotarian does not have an opportunity of participating and interacting, which is more like, and also the chances of Rotarians attending that meeting are more if it's on a their regular meeting day. So it's not too long a meeting. The club does not find it expensive because they don't have to organize a dinner or anything. So the basic idea is to focus on the Rotary subject and go to the Rotary. If you have a large intercity forum on Sundays somewhere, one in South Bombay, one in Central Mumbai, one in the western side, so person has to travel. Whereas here you are actually going to their clubs. So the chances of interaction and chances of better attendance are always more here. So that's how it goes. And I feel that it is only when Rotarians become more aware of the activities of their own club as well as other clubs that they are likely to participate. I remember one of my club presidents when we went for the district Shukriya function. Some years back this was. While on my way back, he said, we were together and he said, I didn't know the clubs do so much. Otherwise, I would have pushed myself a little more. I said, you should have attended the last year's Shukriya function. Then you would have got the push at the right time.
Absolutely.
So it's knowing more, people do more.
So, sir, thank you so much. And friends, this was about training, which is one of his favorite topics. But
another thing about training, that training has to be individualized in the sense a director's orientation. I'm not so much in favor of a multi-club, three, four clubs coming together and having a director. I would rather have a director's orientation program for that club alone. And the club, this is where and that's where the club trainer's job. It's the club trainer who is supposed to do it. And similarly, promotion of fireside meetings, which perhaps is happening a little less now. That's the place where in small gatherings, people have opportunities of interaction. And it is responsibility of both the club leadership and the senior Rotarians in the club. For everything, one does not have to go to the district. Every club has senior members, of course, barring the clubs which have been chartered in the recent years, have the senior members who can do this, take it upon themselves and educate the new members.
Definitely, sir. So very important takes I've got from this part of it. But coming to another issue, sir, that is something which you really have led with an example, and you're a foundation benefactor. You're also a PHF level 4. How important do you feel is giving to the foundation, and how important is it to give to the annual fund?
Important thing is not it's of course definitely important how much you give, but more important than that is how regularly you give. You say, since I have not been a big donor, but I have hardly missed a year in which I did not give at all. So whatever I want to give, I must give every year. So because foundation activities will go on every year, and annual fund is where the clubs that have not given also get an opportunity of receiving money. If you, you know it well that when you apply for a global grant, in the whole application form, there is not a single question asking how much has this sponsoring club contributed to foundation. It always goes on the merit of the project, not on how much that club has given to the foundation in the past. So basic idea of foundation is the same. That people who have resources give that, and those who do not have, the foundation passes from them to them. So that is a very good idea, and it has to happen on a regular basis. The other thing is giving with an idea that I must get so much from the DDF. That's another thing which I am not very happy with. It is that if you want to give it. Don't give it saying that I will give it, so I must get so much. Foundation doesn't do it. Foundation never asks you a question. In the global grant application, they never ask you how much have you given earlier. So the only thing they will ask is how much are you going to give for this project, because you have identified the project. And basic thing about a foundation grant is that a club is supposed to apply for a foundation grant when they are unable to raise those funds locally. And that's when you seek help. And the help is always there. But one must think about what your money is asking for. Giving and asking, both are very important. And unless you ask, you won't do projects. But this is something which, giving must be unconditional.
True, sir. And these are very golden words, friends, because it should not be like "तुम मुझे खून दो, मैं तुम्हें आजादी दूंगा." It should not be like that here. It should not be that. It should. I am not. I don't like that directed giving so much, sir, because everything goes for a project. If you have $50,000 for your project, try to organize another 15-20,000. You can't say that आप मुझे 20,000 दो, मैं 50,000 डालूंगा. That is not coming to annual fund. And when it is not coming to annual fund,
this has been problematic for some of the districts in India itself in some years, that they have donors who are willing to give money, provided you supplement it with another, and then to supplement that, you don't have funds in annual fund.
Absolutely, sir.
Absolutely. Rather.
And so it should not be conditional. It should be unconditional giving. So if you have heard what Dr. Jayant Kulkarni says, he has said 3 important points. And sir, to be telling you frankly, this is a huge learning for me. Every word that you said, I listened to it very carefully, and I'm sure others would also do. He said, हर बार बार थोड़ा थोड़ा देते रहिए. So it has to be unconditional giving. One.
Let me just one second. I like the words of Alok Mohta. Alok Mohta
Yes.
is past president.
So that is what I tried to reciprocate.
What he used to say, he used to say was, foundation give has to be bar and lagatar.
बार लगातार.
Bar lagatar.
So yeah, this was impromptu. Alok Mohta has been like a idol. I have been idolizing him from foundation point of view. He was in 7-8 the foundation
Yes.
avenue chair, and I've been following him. Now I was after him when we were doing the appointments this year, that we wanted him to be in a very important position, but because his work is at Dombivli Ambernath, where he goes for his factory regularly, he says I don't have time. Otherwise, he is a brilliant person. The way he has, he and Ravi, they have been the building blocks of foundation for District 3141. So, sir, there is one more point that I took out of it is, one, you give regularly, you give unconditionally. That is the second point. But you give to the annual foundation, not just because of the global grant, sir. Even the amount which comes as a DDF is used by so many small clubs for their district grants. So there are so many things that we can do with annual fund, and that is the reason, sir, since past 1 year, I and Sunil had been working, and it is Sunil's brilliant idea. I should really appreciate what he had thought of. That is the Givers Gain project. And I am so fortunate and thankful to him that he gave me the project in hand that drive it in the entire district. And he has given me people like Kalpana Munshi, who was the district project director. You know how type of a lady she is, that I call her a lady, iron lady. And this is the type of support system that he has given us, and he has given me the responsibility to promote it in every club, every Rotary, in every society. And I would just like to tell you that, sir, yesterday we had the 500th pickup. I'd also like to tell you that this Givers Gain project, sir, is direct giving to the foundation, goes to annual fund, and the credit goes to the Rotarian, not in terms of points, but in terms of actual giving. So again, very thankful to Sunil to allow me to drive this project in the entire district, and I will not disappoint him, sir. I had been to your club also the other day as a speaker, and it was a lovely time. It was a lovely time. Whether I get an audience of 20 or 200 or 2, my governor has given me the responsibility, and sir, I am going to ensure that I take it to the last every Rotarian of District 3141. I'm sure, sir, that
my best wishes to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. And we will put in our heart and soul. Luckily, COVID has come. I've converted the hospital to a COVID hospital. We've dedicated it to COVID. So we do get little more time in which we can meet many other clubs. And sir, just to tell you, I've finished my talks in almost 63 clubs on Givers Gain. So yes, it is helping us a bit, where the foundation contributions will also increase. I'm sure this will go to the next level. Sir, now something more. We want to know something from you about, on your personal front, about your hobbies, your likings, because the type of person you are, I'm sure you will be telling you love to read. But what else do you like to do in your free time?
Obviously, I like to read. I like music. And I like to meet people. I like to talk to people. So all that I keep doing.
That's great.
People reciprocate. They also follow. They keep talking.
Sir, this has been a lovely time. First of all, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving me the privilege. Friends, I would just like to tell you, Dr. Jayant Kulkarni is a person who doesn't like that show or glamour. I had to ask him multiple times for him to give me this time. Finally, you know, I am also a very smart guy. I chose the day when he had to give me a return gift. I wished him on his birthday, and as a return gift, he gave me the time. Yes, I will come on the interview. So, sir, it was
No,
not
it's
planned,
not,
but
no, it's not that I don't like to, but you know, I believe that there are many more people who are better than me, giving you advice, giving you, you know, suggestions, all that. So there are a lot of people who are even better than me. So not that there is anything unique about me. Maybe there are a few activities which I've done, like you know, but the variety of activities that I've done in Rotary, probably many have not done. That is the only difference, perhaps.
sir, I salute your modesty. But first of all, let me thank you so much for the privilege given to have this interview. It has been a lovely experience with you on BizBiz Talks. We would like to take the liberty of posting these videos to all Rotary clubs, social media pages of Rotary District 3141. Every Rotarian should get to know about this interview. Your interview is going to be viewed by Rotarians and non-Rotarians alike. I'm sure with your interview, there are so many Rotarians who have not fully jumped into the Rotary bandwagon. They will start becoming more active Rotarians. There would be so many non-Rotarians who, because of the transparency and ethics of Rotary, which we have just portrayed in this talk, would like to get associated either for projects or even become members of Rotary. So since you're a strong supporter of the work done by Rotary, do support us by passing the message of Rotary Foundation and Rotary to all your industry connects or your known connects. Let's join hands together, sir. Bless us, give us Ashirwad so that we can support Rotary more to support mankind.
My best wishes.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for all the support that you've been giving. Thank you so much, sir.